Hi there guys, Al here, Grumpy Gaming, another episode of C.H.E.B.S, which means that we have Matt here.
Hello.
Hello. And we're just going to do just a handful size C.H.E.B.S today. We're just going to go over the ridiculous Eldar prices, the Eldar release that's coming up, and the preview, the LVO preview, because I did a video on that, but we've not got your take on it, and I'll be interested to see what you think. So, where should we start? Let's have a look at the Sunday preview for starters. It's the Eldar. They are coming. You've got a nice limited codex and a normal codex because there's no army box for these guys. And you'll find out why there's no army box in a minute. Obviously, your dice and your cards per standard. Lycus, the Whispering Web. Yeah. Warp Spider. Phoenix Lord. She will cost you £28, which is
not bad,
standard for a character.
Yeah.
And in fact, all of the Phoenix Lords are £28, which is your standard for a named character. So that's to be expected. What I didn't necessarily expect was 5 Striking Scorpions to be 40 quid.
Ouch.
And that also goes for all the aspects. So it's 5 for 40 for your Swooping Hawks. And it's 5 for 40 for your Fire Dragons. Now, Matt, do you remember how we said that 10 Striking Scorpions for 42 quid was a piss take?
Well, they've just gone and done the Dire Revenger bait and switch again.
Yeah.
Oh, you had 5 Revengers for 30 quid. Well, now you've got 5 Dire Revengers for slightly more than 30 quid. I mean, that was years ago.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And, you know, Striking Scorpions are nice, but, like, I thought that £42.50 for 10 of those was pricey.
Yeah. I mean, they're all damn nice updates. Like,
they're lovely models, but...
At all. But 80 quid for a full squad.
Exactly,
really?
That's what I'm saying. It's you know, if it was like 45 quid for 10, then I'd be like, oh, a new release, like the Striking Scorpions, it's overpriced, but yeah. But the fact of the matter is that you need to get 2 boxes, really, to do anything with them. And I presume that you don't have to build the X-Arc and it's a separate piece. You could just have 5 normal dudes, because otherwise you can have 2 squads of, 10 models with 2 X-Arcs. So yeah. I don't know for sure. 28 quid is just what they charge for characters these days, but 40 quid for that, I thought, fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't class the Sergeant equivalent as a character. I mean, rules-wise, yeah, but money-wise, no. No, that is not cool. The model's amazing. Price...
Yeah, that's a little bit
absolutely not. Oh, the Falcon's now part of the Wave Servant kit.
Yes, so they doubled it up. You remember we couldn't find the Wave Servant, the Falcon.
We did last week.
We did our weird best models. And it was like, yes, we would love to show off your models, GW, if your website worked.
Yeah. I mean...
But it wouldn't, no matter what we did. It was just like, yeah, fuck you. And that was pretty much... Yeah, that was pretty much what happened. So I think I was just like... I don't know, I just kind of feel like they're just taking the piss to levels that I didn't want to even get to, you know?
No, I agree.
So I've got an American price for the Falcon Wave Serpent. And it looks like it's going to be about 45 quid. So that is, whatever it is. And then your War Walkers are coming in between that and 50 quid.
Yeah.
For 2. And I can't remember how much they were for 1. So I'm not sure if that's actually a good deal or not.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I bought a War Walker.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, this price would put me off doing Eldar.
Yeah,
just point blank, like from scratch. You're like, no chance. And obviously,
I get it. I get it for the Falcon and the Wave Serpent, but the others, it's like, really.
And this is why they haven't done an army box, because obviously an army box would be like 150 quid, and you put like, I don't know, say 200 quid's worth of stuff in it. There'd be fuck all in it.
Yeah, it's like 20 guys.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think those prices are absolutely insane.
Yeah,
for 5 models, I think that is an absolute piss take. With 1 sprue or
It's going to be 2 sprues, I reckon. They can't charge 40 quid for one A5 sprue. It's madness.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you've got all the options, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I can't see where... Not for 5 fire dragons. I can't see how it's going to take 2 sprues. I can't.
Guess we'll find out.
Let's have a quick look at the... Let's have a quick look at Striking Scorpions, because that might tell us. And yes, this means I'm going to have to fucking go on the website again.
Don't do it to yourself.
Innit? Not even recovered from last time. At least I know what they're called now. They're called Blades of Cain.
You're still having to wear an eye patch. Hey, you got the new avatars up. Nice work.
I do, yes.
Still a work in progress, but looking good.
Oh, they're £47.50. Jesus. No sprue pick. Son of a bitch. Because I've got a sneaking suspicion they're 1 sprue.
Come on, surely. Unless it's actually boxes of 10. And it's 2 sprues that are the same.
No. They would show them. They'd show them as a picture of 10 if it was 10. Because look, like that. It'd look like that.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
Come on, Matt. You've been around long enough to know that this isn't the case. So yeah, I mean, you know, your books. They're all the standard prices. Your book's 37. It is a chunky book, to be fair. It's near 200 pages.
I'm really pleased that the limited edition collector's one actually has a decent cover. And I do love a good Wraithlord.
Yeah, it looks nice. All the limited edition ones look really nice. All the ones they showed off at the LVO look nice as well.
Wasn't always the case for the new ones.
No. Speaking of which, let's head there now. So I'm not doing them in order. I'm just doing them as I find them. This is the first one they showed this off. This is obviously the new Nurgle model.
Definitely improvement over existing ones.
Yeah, less sort of goofy, and I wouldn't say it exactly does a lot for me, but it's definitely not got the goofy Nurgle thing, and for that, I'm just like, yeah,
exactly.
That's cool.
It's a bit more Mark III gritty.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You know, it's not overly detailed. The detail that is there looks quite gloopy and kind of grim, so yeah, that's not bad.
Yep.
And yeah, it looks right from the back, like the cloak and everything. Yeah, some nice painting on that sword. Actually, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks a little bit less caddy than usual with
yes.
the cloak, which is quite good to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously those Death Guard now are like what, 8th edition, so they're quite a while ago. So yeah, and then coming up, obviously this is all incoming real soon. Then it's going to be like all about the different Chaos Codexes, because there's no Codex Demons, so it's just these guys.
What? My demons?
Your demons are gone, I'm afraid. Your demons are being folded into the Chaos Codexes.
Absolute bullshit. That was one of the best codexes to read through with all the John Blanche artwork and everything. It was absolutely great.
Yeah, why get you to read 1 book when they can get you to read 4?
Amazing. To be fair, it's 4 more books that I don't have to buy, so...
Yeah, exactly. And then anybody can guess these next 4 things. So it's your Grey Knights, your Salamanders, Black Templars, and Chaos Knights. And that would leave Dark Eldar, Imperial Knights, Votan, and Space Wolves. So
Poor Space Wolves, always out in the cold.
Yeah, well, they deserve it. They look silly. But in all seriousness, it probably points towards Lehman Russ turning up towards the end of the edition, which apparently is coming sooner than later. But yeah,
not surprising.
Well, no, considering that 10th is just a total clusterfuck, I'm not surprised in the slightest.
I don't think 11th's going to be much better, to be fair.
No,
based
I don't
on that
see
progression
it. I mean,
from 8th to 9th.
They'll still be going after the
we know
competitive crowd and everything. So yeah,
yep.
I can't. You know, they obviously think that's where their money is.
I mean, Pete was actually asking about getting some Necrons and stuff, and I was like, well, where do you want to start and why are you getting them? And he goes, well, I want to start playing. And I was like, well, you're probably better off starting with a combat patrol now that the Force Orc chart was deemed too complicated for 40k players somehow.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, you're in luck because it's the simplest core rule set ever, so you should be able to pick it up pretty quick. Given that you normally play D&D, this shouldn't be a problem. Enjoy
Yeah, I
yourself.
mean, in theory, the bloat is elsewhere, though, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, the core rules are kind of simple, but then like, which version are you reading? Are you reading the up-to-date? Have you all the fucking rules commentary that they put in and everything? It's just back in the day we
Unfortunately,
had a
like,
more complex rule set, but it was easier to play. I swear it was.
yeah. I mean, there was more to remember, but if you were a regular player, that wasn't an issue
Yeah,
because you retained it all
you
through
just
regular
knew it.
usage. Yeah,
There was less units to memorise,
yeah,
and like it didn't matter. You knew the armour value of the vehicle. It just
yep.
it was easy.
Yeah, points changed less or not at all, depending on which edition we're
Well,
talking
yeah, I
about
mean,
over our lengthy
you'd
careers.
have a codex, and it would be the codex for the edition. It's like there you
Yeah,
go, and you'd be like, okay, cool, because
or for,
it was never that fucked up in the first place for the
yeah,
most
or for
part.
some races like my Tau, the fourth edition codex was my codex for 2 editions,
Yeah.
which wasn't much fun. And I'm sitting there reading through my codex, going, "Hold on a minute, this marker light helps me out with target priority tests. What's that? That's not in the fifth edition." I see my usefulness vanishing slowly as you simplify the rule set. But sixth edition was great. Tau,
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely loved it. And then Seventh brought in formations, which was a bit of a.
Yeah, I mean, formations was pretty much the only bit that I really, I really had a problem with because it became very much sort of,
Meta. It's like the dawn of meta.
yeah,
40k.
yeah. It became very much sort of like take this and pretty much be guaranteed to win. You know, like they did a Space Marine one where it's like all fast attack options, and the rule that it came with was so absolutely bonkers that it was just a case of just take this and you're probably going to win the game. And I was like, that kind of irked me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I think it's going to come sooner rather than later. I think they know they fucked at 10th, and I want to do a discussion on what 11th will probably be and what we'd like it to be. At
I'd
another
like
point,
it to just be based on the heresy rule set, but I think we've been over that already.
yeah, we have. And we'll see. I'm hoping there'll be some signs coming over the next sort of 6 months or so about what they might be thinking about doing.
Yeah.
And it's either going to, as you say, carry on with the competitive mindset, which in our case it's just not probably going to be for us, or they're going to realise that they fucked it all up in about turn and try and make it more fun again. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I honestly thought that would happen after ninth, because ninth was just. Eighth was like, but okay. And then ninth tried to give it a bit more depth, like the older editions, but just all the bolt-on stuff was just a fucking mess.
Yeah.
All the bonkers cover rules of drawing multiple 1mm wide lines of bases and stuff, and parking a tank so that its rear quarter was in cover. And now you're like, oh, now my tank gets a cover save from you guys shooting at it from the front, where there's no intervening terrain. It was just bollocks. And yeah, I really did think that, you know what, 10th edition, the 10th milestone of one of the biggest sci-fi tabletop war games in the world, it's going to be a decent return to form. And how disappointed I was.
Not so much.
No.
X did not mark the spot.
Really didn't. It kind of X marked the lack of the end of my interest in playing the game, pretty much.
Yeah, it weren't great. They also showed off these models. So this is Minkalenk, I think her name is.
Book characters.
Just general bint from the books. So
I've not read them, so I know nothing about it, but the models are pretty good.
Yeah. It's another one of these, we need more female characters, so they made a female. I think she was a lieutenant and now she's been promoted to a captain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, I think the Space Marine's got all the lieutenants.
I've not read it, so I can't say anything about the book itself. But the models are quite nice.
Yeah, models are damn nice.
Looks good. She looks a lot better than her old version, which was dodgy. Not too sure about this one. Quite sure what's going on.
Looks like she's out of the Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah.
Just with a las gun?
Vaguely Chinese? Well, I presume it's a hot shot because it's got the cables.
Maybe.
But Chinese, Scottish, I have absolutely no idea. But But yeah, they're all right models. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be like 50 quid a box. I can't get excited about them, but you know, if you like that character and you like those books, then it's going to be nice to get.
Yeah, they look cool.
Especially when you consider that we went through years and years and years of our favourite books just not having the characters. You know,
Yeah, the models.
Sorry, the models, yeah, at all. You know, and when we did get them, they were like really bad. Kind of, they put the trainees on them.
Not great.
Like the old Metal Blood Quest ones and stuff like that, and Malice Darkblade, they were not good models. So yeah, you've got these weird characters. The guys are outnumbered by ladies, so I presume all is well with the world. And yeah, I can't tell you anything about the character. I have no idea if she's any good. I do know that this model looks horrible. This is the new companion for Gotrek, from Gotrek and Felix.
It's somewhere between a good model and the really bad Blood Bowl ones.
Yeah. She's got a face like she's chewing a lemon.
Chewing a nettle.
Yeah, and I mean that's not what she looks like on the cover at all. So
I mean, paint job's nice enough, but
yeah, it looks alright.
Nice little shiny bit on the knee there.
Sorry, say again?
A nice little shiny bit on the knee there. I'm not sure if that's metal or if she's actually wearing PVC trousers.
No, it's going to be sort of PVC trousers, I would think. Yeah, I don't think it's great, but it's not. Yeah, other companies are doing better. Let's just say, that. But yeah, that's it. I mean, basically, it's we're releasing 2 new books in Fangly special editions. So here's some characters to go with them, and I'm like, okay, but there's other stuff that could do with the attention more. But at the same time, you know, we went through that time without the models, so
yeah,
you know, don't necessarily want somebody else to go through that as well. Necro got some new Ash Waste Nomads, who are okay, I guess. I don't like them as much as the original ones that I've got. Like I said in my video, this guy clearly hasn't seen The Rock. That's a bad idea. But yeah, I suppose the idea of them taking like bits of the bugs and using them for weapons and stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's not, you know, they're not doing anything for me. They're very standard. They're very, you know, just so I suppose.
I mean, they look good if a bit busy.
Yeah, they have got that whole kind of over the top detail going on, sort of like how do you even move, let alone maneuver quickly across the ash wastes. You know, when you look at like the guys in Dune or something, they are deliberately not weighed down by loads of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got that kind of thing going on where it's just like, there's a blank space, we must put some detail there. But yeah, they're all right. I don't know if I'll probably bother getting them. The weird thing is that it's only showing 6 of them.
How many should there be? 10?
I would imagine 10 in a box. Yeah. But these are their special versions, so maybe you get less. Maybe it's just a case of just fuck you. I don't know.
Oh, is it is it their specialist equivalent box?
It is, yeah.
Where you get less. That sounds about right for 6 models then.
And then you've got these guys in there, presumably.
They look a lot smaller than in the preview.
They do look a lot smaller in the preview, though. Turned out to be on 28mm bases, not huge ones.
No.
And then you've got some conversion bits. So, you know, that's nice. National Nomads are pretty cool. Obviously, that means another book, because, of course, it does. Yeah,
but I like reading Necromunda books. I'm still working my way through the squat one, like Halls of the Ancestors.
Yeah, I mean, they do compendiums and stuff if you want to get the rules on their own. But it's nice to know Necromunda's still getting taken care of. And there's your building, your expensive plastic building, should you want one. But also bring them Zone Mortalis stuff back. And it's like all of it.
Nice. Good.
So you can build your great big Zone Mortalis boards. So that'd be quite cool to see. I don't know how much they're going to charge for it. Probably too much.
That's always an interesting game, doing Zone Mortalis stuff. But yeah. So yeah, sorry people, if you hear me coughing and stuff in the background. My child, like most children, is at least 30% nurgling and has brought the plague into the house.
You've been infected. Yeah. And then we got to see the Calyx, and it was like, yay! Oh, is that it? Oh. Oh,
Still awesome.
yeah,
But,
it's awesome, but it's just the same as what we've already got with different weapons. And I'm just like, well, there's an awful lot of Mechanicum that you could show off, I'm sure. Where are they?
yeah, it's pretty much the same as the resin one, apart from like a few extra details here and there, which is basically what the other Thanatar was, the standard.
Yeah.
I like it. I think I'm one of the few people who actually prefers the look of the Calyx over the standard Thanatar. I love these, but I don't think I'll bother getting a second one.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I may
three
end up
Thanatars
getting
is
one.
quite enough.
I don't know. I do love the Mechanicum, but I was really hoping that they'd show off some more stuff. So
Soon,
yeah,
hopefully.
And then we got to see the next old world character, and that was cool. He's quite nice. Beastmen obviously are going to be a thing. Or we release all the old plastic kits.
I like his little gimpling he's got with him.
Yeah, it's cute. He's got his own little mask and everything. Look familiar. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep. Out on par with the rest of the old world stuff. Nice work.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it? I mean, it's just nice to see that fantasy stuff getting done again.
Yeah.
And not be the stupidly over the top Age of Sigmar, World of Warcraft look. You know, which I'm just not a fan of. So yeah, it's just nice to see that fantasy look coming back. And then we got to see that the High Elves are coming. Pretty decent battalion. If you like pointy ears.
Yeah, not a cow in sight.
No stupid fucking land cows. Or mountain cows. And then new models. Yeah, he was good.
I mean, you can't fault the AOS elves for not being original.
Yeah. So yeah, you got some stuff coming in. And then loads of the classic plastics coming back.
Nice. Including
stuff from like Island of Blood and stuff like that, because that's where they're from. So yeah, it's just I mean, these are just nice. They're just nice models, man. You look at these and you're just like, I remember the days when this is what you would get, not whatever the hell you get now, kind of thing. You know,
like cartoony stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot more historic kind of styled.
Yes.
Rather than
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the High Elves have got some old kits as well, like these ones, but overall, you can't forget this one.
Nope, not a wretched bendy flight stand in sight.
Yep.
Thank you for not retooling those.
Just classic fantasy models. You know, kind of things that us grognards like. And this is one of Darren Latham's first sculpts, you know, because the hand's a bit dodgy. But I think that's one of his first sculpts and his first learning. Because as I say, the High Elves got done kind of towards the end of that edition, the final edition of Fantasy. Because they needed it. So yeah, it'd be nice to have those back. Like bother getting some, depend on money again, I suppose. But I do quite fancy the idea of having like a ranked up army. And
old school, isn't it?
The High Elves aren't just for girls.
Huh.
So yeah, there's those. And then for Age of Sigmar, we got these dudes. I'm interested to see what you think of these. Zabala Kingdoms. Because I think it's all quite nice.
I loved them. I thought they were absolutely great.
Just, again, straddling that fantasy Age of Sigmar aesthetic just about right. You can see the difference from this and the old world, but it gets away with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I couldn't really fault these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Undead anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these guys look awesome. I was very pleased.
So much better than the stupid Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to get the army book just to read it.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm thinking about getting some of these to replace my Graveguard. Because the Graveguard I've got are tragically underscaled.
Same
I got them
so
to
apparently.
play the expansions from Curse City.
Yeah, that's right.
But these are like, because like the cool thing about the bone metal skeletons from Curse City is it's like, and the zombies as well, it's like 20 models for 40 quid. These are likely to be 10 for 35.
Yeah, but they're fancier, or more fancy, should I say?
Well, I'm not sure. I think they're the same bodies. I don't think the bodies have changed. I think they're the same CAD moulds.
Maybe.
and then they've just put other bits on top. But they are
Extra
nice.
option.
There's no denying that they are nice. It's nice to see those bat wings
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the interview with the people that were doing the, presenting them,
Mm.
and I was pleasantly surprised when they said these just replace the old models that you already have.
Yes.
So people who want to keep using their old models with the new army book are perfectly okay to do that. And I
Yes.
was like, sorry, did you just say that? Right. You're passing up an opportunity to wring more money out of people. How's this happened?
Presumably in a tournament setting as well, should you wish. Yeah, I mean that's a little bit. That's not great on that barding there, but they're not
The
bad.
nag's head.
Yeah, they're not bad. I mean, this is the one I don't like the most. I mean, it just looks a bit. It's like it's a horse, not a giraffe. But yeah, they're nice models overall. Yeah, they're good. Don't know if I'd bother with the cavalry, but I definitely like some infantry. And then you've got this really nice dragon.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. The dragon's cool as well.
It's going to be a huge model, easily £100. But,
yeah, I quite liked the lore around him, where he was a bit naughty.
He's the first Dracolith necromancer, yeah.
Yeah, so Nagash exiled him to the Red Keep, and it keeps teleporting around and just randomly turning up places. So clearly someone had won the role.
Yeah, yeah.
If anyone's old enough to remember that awesome film. Yeah, and then apparently the Red Keep's also been turning up in a few places where Nagash doesn't want it.
Yes.
So there's something going on with this guy. And that shield is fucking nice.
Yeah, that shield is really nice. And then you've got this guy with the stupid hair, but the horse is really nice. I don't know why his hair's doing that. I just don't know. It doesn't make any sense with the pose of the model or anything. The only way that hair makes sense is if he's just airdropped onto the horse.
Yeah, true. And everyone knows that if he'd have just airdropped on, then he'd still have a beret on.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's nice. A nice model. No idea how much it'll be. 30, 40 quid, whatever they think they can get away with. But this is their spearhead, and I thought this ain't bad. You know, this is about 85 quid or whatever.
A lot of stuff.
It is quite a lot of stuff. It's loads of the old skellies, some of the new skellies, new mounts, and a really, really, really old White King, who was originally sold on a square base. That's how old he is.
Oh, is that the one that we used in Warhammer Quest?
No, it's...
Was it newer than that?
Trying to think what he was released for, and I can't remember. But he came with like it was that time when they did all the sculpted bases.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a base topper; the actual base was sculpted, and he had a square base, and he's from that. I'm pretty sure I've painted him up again to use with Curse City one day if I do, maybe.
He might be the one I'm thinking of. I'm not sure where mine is to double check it.
And then coming up, I suppose you've got Khorne, Caradrons, and Dark Elves for people who are bothered. I'm not interested in Age of Sigmar at all, but I do like a lot of the models.
Yeah.
You know, they seem to have learnt the lesson that 40k refuses to learn regarding cartoony models.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that a few of the design people here would get over to the 40k side and give them a bit of a slap.
But I think then again, there's such a long lead time when they design and produce and release models that all these changes that they've made to the aesthetic are at least 2 years old.
Oh yeah, I mean these models have been made years ago. It's a really nice codex armor book cover as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm very much eyeing that up. You'd
have to get the box set. But that's got all the new stuff in it. You've got 10 of the new guys. No, 20 of the new guys. Guy on horse. And then 5 riders.
I mean, I do have all the Death Rattle stuff from the Mortal Realms magazine. I don't know if you can use them together in a spoopy blob.
Death Rattle, don't you mean Nighthorn?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Is that Nurgle virus affecting your brain?
It is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Undead is undead or if they have a bit of a squabble or what.
I have no idea.
But yeah, it's quite a nice looking army box. I mean, 150 quid for that amount of army is ridiculous, but that's just where we are now at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then the last thing they showed off was the Emperor's Children,
which was a very nice surprise. Well, not a surprise, but the surprise was that they're all really good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like Lucius. I don't think I kind of really want these things off the top of his head to go.
Yeah.
And I don't like his face.
Yeah, all the weird snot injectors are just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
I think you're taking it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Like stimulants and excess. Yeah, we get it. They all like their ease, but really?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. It's just, and then it does things like interfere with these things going into his head, and I don't like any of it. Don't need it.
I do like the whip though.
Yeah, the whip coming out of his arm is really
awesome.
cool. And I love the fact they've kept this sort of 90s flayed skin studded,
the slightly suspect studded thigh highs.
Yeah, going on, because obviously we're not going to get Slanesh the way that maybe you think Slanesh should be, like quite like the sort of Hellraiser-esque Cenobite thing that we want.
Yeah, contrary to what the internet may believe, Slanesh isn't all just tits and sex.
Yeah, well, I mean, even Hellraiser wasn't all tits and sex.
No,
it was sexually charged, but it was it was all about different sensations and stuff like that. And therefore, I think the torture aspect would have been a very cool way for Slanesh to go. But unfortunately, when you want your IP to be picked up by massive companies and you want 12-year-olds to play it,
you can't really have too many things like the Infernal in Rapturous.
You cannot, sadly. And as a compromise, as a nod back to those 90s models, I think these are really nice. I particularly like this Lord.
The outlandish styling, very cool.
Really nice model just to paint, in all honesty. Guns are a little bit over the top, but I suppose that's kind of the idea. But yeah, they look. Yeah, I think they look really, really cool.
Yeah, it's all the same kit, isn't it?
That is one kit, yeah. It's one kit.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
20 odd, 28 quid or whatever. But yeah, loads of options. So yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the ribbed armour on the chest, like on the abdomen, is a little bit kind of like, Well, I'm kind of like, your body glove is showing, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Slanesh, they're not really bothered, but
shoot that bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got this guy, the cacophonist, who's
also very good.
A bit
mental.
mental.
To be fair, it's all very cool. All the models that we're going to look at, very nice.
I just think they've done a real nice job with the colour scheme on these as well.
Yeah.
And then the Noise Marines again, looking pretty good. 6 for 40 quid, I imagine.
Yeah, striking, but not too garish.
Yeah, again, the weapons are maybe a little bit over the top for my tastes, but they're meant to be.
Yeah.
Slanesh doesn't do subtle.
And I look at them and I hear a little bit of Steel Panther.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Or as I say, D-Rock, who did a song called Here Come the Noise Marines.
Yes, if anyone remembers them.
If you do, sound off in the comments, I'll be very impressed.
Yep. D-Rock, Wraith and Bolt Thrower, the old defunct Warhammer Records label, mate.
Yeah, exactly. These are the only ones I don't like. These are the ones that go that little bit cartoony and Age of Sigmar-ish for me.
Bad heads. The left one's okay, but like the middle and right, I'm just a bit like, no, what's wrong with the cone heads? Is one of them Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, just, I don't know. This one reminds me of a character out of Star Wars, which I can't remember who it is.
Oh, is it the Jedi with the long head?
Yeah, what's his name?
And the beardy moustache.
Mundi or something his name is?
Probably.
But yeah, it reminds me of that guy a little bit. But they're okay. And the basic troops, the basic Slanesh Chaos Space Marines are good as well. It's nice to see something that's got a little bit more going on than just being a spiky Space Marine.
Yep.
If
the Khorne stuff got a decent refresh with the level of seriousness within reason that these guys got, it'd be very good.
Yeah, I mean, some of the Khorne stuff's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with the Khorne Berserkers. They look fine. They're a great update. But then I look at those Exalted 8 ones and I'm just like, ooh.
Like, nope.
But also Corvus helmet for Chaos. Not seen that before.
What, where?
Corvus helmet for Chaos.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of Mark 6s there. Very nice to see.
And presumably the same here, but they've just chopped off the end. And did you notice old school bolt pistols, dude? Look at that magazine.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that since 2nd edition.
I was about to say, is that like a Mark II bolt pistol?
I couldn't tell you.
Need Carl for that.
Yeah, all I can tell you is there's old school sickle mags.
Yeah, it's nice. And you've even got on the last of them, you've still got a dude with the head from the artwork. Yes,
the Adrian Smith artwork. So, although the rest of the models don't look like that, because again, that was getting very Hellraiser, tortury, kinky kind of, and they're just not going to do it. I'd love them to. I'd love them to do a line like that. I'd love them to do what Trench Crusade does and just give zero fucks, but they can't. They're beholden to their shareholders, and they've chosen that route. And these aren't bad overall. I really don't think so. I think they're quite understated and not stupidly blinged up and stuff, and they leave you enough space to do what you want to. And you can paint them as pink and black if you want, or do them purple or whatever. And you got the undersuit, the oversuit, and these are great. None of them are grinning like Muppets.
No.
And then you've got the shooty versions. And all comes in a great big army set. So you get 6 Noise Marines, 12 Noise Marines. 12 Noise Marines, 2 sets of the Space Marines and the Lord. Again, 150 quid. But considering that I'm expecting these to be 40 quid per set, and him to be 30 quid on his own, that's 170, 190 just there.
Yep.
And then obviously codex and whatever.
And clearly, you get a book and the cards for free because they'll just be outdated as soon as you get them.
As soon as you get them, exactly. But if you've been waiting for the Emperor's Children and you want to do that, then it's there.
There's nice cover as well.
Normal cover. I prefer the old one because it's got the classic Agent Smith artwork on it.
But as modern codexes go, that's good.
But so that was what we got from the LVO, and as usual, they get those off my screen. There we go. As usual, they saved the good stuff for the Yanks, And I thought it was pretty good overall, to be honest. I don't know what you thought. But I thought there was some damn nice stuff there. There wasn't anything I really hated apart from that stupid Dark Elf companion of Gotrek, which I think is a bad model.
I think the whole bunch of reveals was actually quite a nice surprise, given that what they teased it with, and we were just kind of like,
you've spoiled
great.
Everything.
That's that. And then you've got all this other stuff as well, and it's kind of like, well, nice work.
The only exception to that would be the Mechanicum. I was bitterly disappointed because I was just like, well, you're now going to show us all of that lovely stuff that you released in Legion Imperialis.
Yeah. In 28 mil.
In 28 mil, please. Well, whatever it is these days, not 28 at all, is it? It's like 32 or something. And then it was like, no.
Nope.
Fuck you, in that case.
Sorry, we're saving that for 2025's profit margins for later in the year.
Yeah, I presume, but I don't know. I mean, the Emperor's Children are going to come out just before the end of the tax year, aren't they? So that's going to
last minute boost.
That's going to give them a bit of a boost without having a new edition to do, because their new edition, I don't know. I think we'll see it promoted and teased this year, but I don't think we'll see it this year.
Yeah,
whatever they decide to do with the models and stuff like that. I mean, the only reason that I got this edition was the models. It was like the Tyranids and Ultramarines, my 2 original fucking armies.
Nice.
Yes. And, I didn't hate all the Tyranids and I didn't hate all the Ultramarines.
We just hated half of the Tyranids.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll get the rule book with it and everything, and had a look through the rule book and what have you, and most of it's an advert for fucking Combat Patrol. But, The new one that's coming out, I honestly don't even know if I'm going to bother picking up the book, unless it's from eBay, from somebody like literally flogging the book for like 15 quid. Which is what I thought about doing with the new Age of Sigmar one, because there's loads floating about from Scaventide. Because, there can be nice books to read and everything.
Oh, yeah. But the law's great. I mean, I still remember reading through like the Votan Codex for like 9th and thoroughly enjoying the lore. And I was like, this is great. I've missed reading this stuff where I've not been buying the books. And then got to the 10th edition rules for them and was just like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think I'm going to buy into 11th at all, because there's only a certain amount of times that you can listen to the same lies from GW. How many? I mean, you and me have played. I've missed 1 edition. I think you missed 1 or 2.
I think I missed 3rd, maybe.
And
I think I missed
3rd. How many times? Not so much back then, but how many times since, say, 6th have we heard this is the easiest, most simplest version? You can play this in under an hour, and it's always bullshit, and they always fuck it up as the edition goes on. Well,
unfortunately, they're working towards it, so
every single time. And So when they come out and say the same thing for 11th, I'm just not going to believe them. You know, this is like the boy who cried wolf. You're like, really, GW? You said that all the other times. I've just noticed here, that chain on that loincloth goes into his armour. How cool is that? Like ratcheting chains from Hellraiser. That's nice, man. I might have to pick up that lore model, just to paint. Just to see if I can paint something that's not fucking hideously dark and give my bright colours a bit of a go. I might even undercoat in white.
You have to buy new paints. They're all dried up by now.
Yeah, well, GW ones have. Christ, they're the worst.
They are.
They're really bad for it. So yeah, that was LVO, and yeah, I thought it was a decent showing by GW, but as always, it's all going to be way too expensive and just fuck starting a new army these days. I mean, I don't mind adding on to armies or getting little bits here and there, but I don't think I can. It's just absolutely mental. As I say, like the Imperial Guard box was 310 points. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I spent how much for how few points?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, look, maybe GW for these stupidly cheap horde armies, you should just do like a cheap army box, like 20 models, like that are 2 or 3 parts. Literally that, 2 or 3 parts. Snap, push them together, no problem. They're only going to get fucking deleted by the dozen, so I don't really want to be putting loads of time into making a fucking complicated model that's just going to, I'd prefer them to be 1 part if you possibly could, because they're just going to get deleted en masse,
Yep.
And yeah, like, is it 40 odd quid worth for a squad of Krieg, and they're 60 points, 70 points, one of the two, and you're just like, no, that's nearly £1 a point. Are you fucking insane?
Yeah, you don't want it.
So yeah, I mean, we'll have more to say as time goes on regarding GW pricing. Traditionally, they would announce their new price increase next month, or maybe in March, because they normally give you a couple of weeks to get on top of it, kind of thing. Whether or not they think they can get away with it this time, or maybe they'll just do a stealth increase instead, I don't know. Like, everything new that comes out will just go up a little bit, and then when the old stuff gets replaced, that'll go up, and then when they do finally think they can get away with doing a price increase, they'll just increase everything, including the old shit.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
But yeah, unfortunately, as you say, the only people who know is GW. So yeah, just a quick one today, guys. 45 minutes. I'm surprised you even turn up. I know, I'm surprised they even turn up anymore. But yeah, let us know your thoughts down below, and we'll be back with some more goodness soon. And go let Matt recuperate for a bit.
Thanks.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Cheerio.